to a new episode of Creative in Focus, and today guys, we have a very interesting guest because it took me like many tries for him to come to this show. Like many tries. So finally he decided to, like, you know what, skip it, I'm going to do the podcast with you. But yeah, without further ado, let me introduce the guest of today's show, which is Han. What's up, Han? How are you doing?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing well, but have you had your coffee yet?
Actually, I was supposed to pass you the coffee.
Yeah. So if you guys are following from my other channel, I have a vlog channel. So if you've seen that vlog before this podcast, we were actually agreeing on drinking coffee before the show, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, you want the coffee. I didn't really want coffee. I mean, I'm fine.
I'm a coffee guy, so like, yeah.
I mean,
so
both works.
So before we start out with the topic of today, right? Do you can you introduce yourself a little bit for the people who actually don't know you yet?
I see.
So what do you do?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how this thing works, so we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, I'm a director and cinematographer here based in Kuala Lumpur and abroad, I guess, sometimes.
Okay.
And I do photography on the side. So yeah, I think that's as much as I would say.
Okay.
I know, I mean, you can just ask me a little bit more.
Okay, but he's being very humble, guys. He worked with a lot of like international brands and bigger production than me lah. But yeah, so I mean, I can slide in some trailer footages of you.
Sure, okay.
But yeah, his works are quite amazing. If you guys don't follow him yet, you can follow. Where do you want them to follow you? Your YouTube or your Instagram?
Yeah, I guess Instagram just works. That's fine.
Instagram
Hanwoo.
At Hanwoo, yeah. So for today, guys, we're gonna be talking about the total, because 2020 is coming to an end. It's still got one more month left to 2020 to end. Yeah. So how has been 2020 for you? Because for what I can know, you're actually a freelancer, right? So you'll be doing a lot of freelancing job here and there. How is it for you overall at the moment?
Well, okay. So I mean, it's quite interesting because I mean, you're a freelancer as well, so to speak.
Can say like freelancer.
I mean, for us, I think and a lot of other video creators like ourselves, or anyone who's doing production, I think we all have had a very interesting 2020. I think it'll be really downplaying it if we just say that it was bad, because I think for most of us it's been really bad.
It's terrible. Some people lost their jobs.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, some filmmakers become like Grab drivers.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I got some friends they need to support their family.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, I've known quite a lot who has lost a lot of projects,
including me.
Right. Yeah, I think most of them, I mean, they lost projects, but they still managed to sustain themselves for quite a bit up to now, when things are kind of coming back.
Yeah.
So that's good. A lot of them kind of just like, you know, just kind of chill at home, maybe figure out the next plan or social media content or something like that. So yeah, that's not too bad, but I've heard of quite a lot of cases where it's pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah. So how did it actually affected you personally, like in terms of first thing is that your job got cancelled or maybe postponed, but other than that, how did you like manage it, like sorry guys, my laptop
exactly
just popped up. Yeah. How do you manage it though?
Okay. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you and transparent. It's pretty bad. It's like really bad.
How bad?
How bad?
Because you were missing for a bit, right? Like from the scenes.
Yeah. I
and then recently you injured your arm again. Remember that?
I kind of don't really. Well, yeah, that's a topic for another day. Yeah. Wait, how do you know about that?
Remember? We were supposed to do a shoot together. Remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
I invited you, but apparently you got into an accident.
That was for the previous episode. Yeah. That's right.
So that was caught up because somebody got injured again.
Yeah, all I can say is that once you get injured once, it's very easy to get injured again. So just be careful, kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, besides that, there was quite a lot of projects that I was really looking forward to. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know, but I can say now. I've actually kind of only started fully freelancing and doing this line for about 2 years, including the COVID times.
Oh, okay.
So actually, I'm.
So you just started last year, lah?
I'm quite new in the scene, I would say.
Oh.
So actually when kind of COVID happened, it's kind of like about 1 year plus into my production line. So I'll consider it still in my starting phase. So I mean, it kind of really sucks that, you know, that happened like kind of as you're getting momentum, as you're getting things going. You're still figuring out like what your style is, you know, what kind of projects you want to work on, and then for that to kind of just like cut off was quite disappointing to say the least. I mean, yeah, and you know, staying at home, I think for everyone, I think you understand like it does things to you, man. Like, I mean, when you're just at home and you don't have like work, you know, things just play in your head and you're just like,
especially
to you, man.
For the people who are really, really extrovert, who actually get the good feeling when they go out and do something.
Right.
For the introvert, I cannot speak for the introvert because I am not an introvert. But I've seen some people, like mostly designers, right? Like graphic designers, they are mostly introverts. They just sit in front of the laptop and draw.
Right. Hey, then actually for them it's okay.
Yeah, for them it's just like, it's another normal day.
Right, yeah.
But for us it's like, shit, okay, we're stuck. We can't do anything.
Oh my god, I know so many friends, well not so many, a few friends who are like, I mean that's basically their job, and when COVID hit they're like so happy because not only do they like get to stay home, but they get paid to stay home. And I'm like, man, like you guys get a salary.
I think we choose a different line to work.
Oh man, the timing is just like, it's too perfect, man. I mean, your company started, I mean, also, I mean, relatively newish, right? So I'm sure it's like, it kind of sucks as well.
Yeah, I mean, 2020 has not been good to a lot of people, but yeah. So, but as a freelancer, right, how did you actually overcome, like, what are the steps you took to like sustain yourself until now? Like, since you say, in terms of filmmaking, we cannot even go out and shoot because of the whole COVID, but slowly they just like relaxed the rules a bit. Now we can shoot, but for a certain group lah. But initially, the earlier point, right, what were the steps you took to actually like surviving right now?
Well, honestly speaking, I think there's a lot of steps that I could have taken, but I didn't take.
That is a good answer. That is a good answer. Okay,
I would love to give you like the most amazing advice ever, or what I've, you know, I have like 5 things that you can do to overcome the
2020 COVID
virus thing. You know, how to be the best work at home person. But I'm gonna be frank with you, man. I mean, it kind of came out of the blue, super unprepared, like I think most people.
A lot of people got unprepared.
So for myself, like, I mean, I don't know, at a certain point, I guess, once we're getting into it, I mean, the first few months were hard, and then after that, I think it's just having to accept the reality that this is going to be on for a while. And then sometimes you just got to, you know, do work that maybe you're not 100% like passionate about. But you know, just doing what you can to survive, and just being grateful for at least having the opportunity to, you know,
just to be alive, have a roof under you.
I know you're about to say just to be alive. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. Well, for most of us, I think we can still survive, but you know, I wouldn't say like, you know, we all have to do things that maybe we're not, you know, it's not our best interest or whatnot, but you know, just doing what we can to sustain through this tough time and hopefully come out in one piece.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting thing though. Few days ago, I had a conversation with my friend, which is also my housemate, and he's a videographer like us as well. Like, he's freelancing most of the times, but we had a conversation like what we're doing. But the one thing I picked up from that, we should be very, very grateful. Even though, let's say like you're videographers, we don't have job, but we actually managed to survive until now. Like, we didn't give up on our jobs. Somehow we managed. When I look back, right, 2020, what has it been, right? It's just mostly me crying, sleeping, eating, sleeping, crying, sleeping, stressing out.
I feel like that's like 80% of the memes, man.
Dude, it's like
those like rinse and repeat. Those like 6 frame stuff, and then you see
that's the only thing I can just remember about 2020. I don't even remember doing a lot of work in 2020, but I still remember, like, you know, 2019, I was like planning, okay, I have to do this, I have to go. This 2020 is my year, I was like, COVID just came and slapped your face at the left and right side. I was like, but we should be very grateful until now. We are still like ongoing, and this and that lah. But not everybody shares the same views as us, because I've seen some people lost their job. Some people who actually didn't want to continue filmmaking, they start up their own food shop lah, food selling shop lah, bak kut teh shop lah. So it's kind of hard lah. But have you ever thought of like that before? Like, you know what, filmmaking is not working right now. Let me just cut off everything and do something else. Have you ever thought? Have you ever come to that thought?
Not really. Not more for myself personally, because I kind of already knew exactly, and I still do what I'm eventually looking to do. So I kind of have quite a clear goal in mind for the next 5 years. I would say 5 to 10 years of what I'm gonna do. But it's just that now everything has to kind of, it's gonna take a little bit longer than I would expect, than planned, and I kind of have to slow things down, you know, go a bit slower. But yeah, no, I don't think I have thought about that necessarily. But I would say for a lot of other people, a lot of people out there, that it's actually sometimes better, you know, when sometimes during this kind of empty questioning periods, then you try something new.
Yeah.
And from then you can kind of, you know, because you're kind of exploring and trying new things, then you might actually find that, hey, maybe I like a certain thing like better than what I was doing, or something I'm actually passionate about.
Yeah, but have you like halfway, right? Since you say you had like plans, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought, okay, my plans might be improving or changing differently? Or what if I do something else like social media marketing, which is sustainable right now, or something else? Have you ever thought about that? Since because your plan, you didn't actually predicted of this situation, right? Even though it's a financial crisis, there's still like past proven ways in how to overcome it. But this time is not a financial crisis; it's a health crisis. No one, not the modern days like nobody.
It's kind of health crisis turned into financial crisis.
Slowly lah.
But okay, continue.
Yeah, but like, have you like changed your plan midways? You know what I had thought, what I'm supposed to do in another 5 years, it's not going to work out. If let's say these things happen again, do I need to change the plan? Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, I have. I mean, it's hard to say because there's a lot of things we can plan for. Like a lot of people actually that I come across kind of always, I mean, when we're talking about this whole situation that we are now, they always say like, oh, you know, now that this virus thing has happened, that, you know, whoever has who's doing like this freelance stuff, I mean, whatever jobs that you're taking, you should now always consider if a situation like this will happen again. And to that I say yes and no, because I feel like, I mean, in the last, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years, not counting, I don't know, Ebola or H1Z1 or whatever, H1Z1, H1N1.
H1.
That's a game. Yeah, one of those, that virus thing, okay. SARS and all that, I mean, that wasn't really major.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is like the first modern day major pandemic. And, I mean, if we want to live our lives around predicting that it's going to happen every year, then I think that, I mean, there's a lot of things we can't do. I mean, it's great, like you can always like kind of try to plan your life around all these contingency. I mean, have a lot of contingencies for situations like this. But I mean, I suppose it's always a risk for everything you do. I mean, because we don't know when the next actual financial crisis will happen. We don't know when.
Soon, I guess, depending on the Malaysian currency.
Apart from the pandemic, I mean, another pandemic. So, like, I would say that it's a 50-50, you know. It's like we can't plan for everything, so it really depends on how far you're willing to go to, you know, assess the risk that you're willing to take for these kind of things.
Yeah. I know, like, people who's listening to this in Spotify, right? I know we sound very like,
it sounds really down and kind of depressing, right?
Depressing. We are actually not, okay? So we haven't had coffee yet. So, but we try to give another extra energy for you.
It's not too late.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We can give you an extra boost before we end this podcast, lah. So, Han, these are the questions that some of my followers actually ask, and some of my friends also, like, not like on our level, like those who are actually starting out or already started out but only have like few months of experience as well. Due to the COVID cases, right, like currently, I don't know, yesterday was like 1,000-ish cases a day. I don't know what is the today's case lah, but do you think, from your own personal point of view, is it very hard as a freelancer, regardless are they a videographer or whatever it is it very hard to get a job at the moment, since now Malaysia SOP is like more relaxed We can
Yeah,
bounce
sort of.
we can bounce the things lah. Like, do you think it's a very easy to get jobs?
Okay, there's a difference between finding a full-time job and an employer and
Okay, no, as a freelancer.
finding work.
Yeah, as a freelancer work. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's actually very hard, because I think a lot of people are looking for, people are trying different businesses and they're
Okay.
trying new things, and they're always going to need, if you're talking about the video side of
Yep.
things, they're always going to need content for that, and they're always going to need just things to
Yeah.
produce in terms
Okay.
of either video or photos or marketing. So in that sense, I would say that maybe the budget's a bit low, but
Yeah.
I think there's still work that
But
can
do
be
you
done.
think freelancers should accept a work like very low budget? Okay, from your low budget pricing and my low budget pricing is quite different, because he works in a bigger production.
Different.
But like, what do you think? Should a freelancer take a low pay job at the moment, or sacrifice that job and wait for a more proper stable money rather than wasting their time there?
Right. So, okay, that's always a really, really good question.
Yeah.
That people ask from time to time is, and also something that I always see online, which is knowing your value.
Yep.
And I think that there's two sides of the coin. Okay, or there's two ways to think about it. So I think that there's the actual fact of actually knowing what your real value is, so that's important. And then there's the slightly skewed version, perhaps, which is like looking at too much memes of you knowing your value when you actually, frankly speaking, probably haven't reached a point where
You're valuable enough.
You have, where you're either valuable enough, or what your value you think you are, you're probably not there yet. And I mean, it's good to be confident at what you're doing.
Yep.
But then there's also, you got to be kind of realistic with what you can provide your clients.
Yep.
So I would say as well, you have to be realistic about the times and the clients that you're going to be working with. So if everyone is struggling, I think trying to demand a certain quote from someone. Yes, you can kind of hold to your guns and kind of just
Or
like,
maybe
okay,
not
I'm going there.
overdoing the work lah. If let's say they're paying you like 1,000 ringgit,
Yeah.
just do what is required within the 1,000 ringgit lor. Let's say you're just gonna shoot, not editing, 1,000 ringgit lah. Unless it's up to your own call lah. If you really want to edit, help out the person. But that is actually true. Like when you say not lowering down value, because I do sometimes get jobs which are very low pay. Like my low pay is like 200 ringgit, 300 ringgit, that kind of stuff lah. Even though it's like money, at the time I'm super grateful that I still have jobs.
Yeah.
But I don't take it because of one particular lesson that I learned like previous time ago is, if I took that job, I'm going to be wasting my time on that rather than, this is what my friend told me lah, don't take all the cheap plug people, go take for the people who actually value your work and value the price as well. And once I started, actually it's a good lesson he taught me, because last time, right, to be honest, when I started the company, right, I was getting like 600, 700, I would just waste my time on one project can go up to like 1 week. So I'll be fully invested on that project, but I only charge like less than 1,000 ringgit.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so but one, I got a feedback, and then he taught me about this, right? Just look for the people who actually have money and always know your value in what you're doing. If you look for the cheap people, they will just want the cheapest price as possible lah. But once I changed that mindset, okay, I only take the people who knows my value and has the money. Wow, I tell you, I'm still grateful that I can still survive because of following that thing. Even though I don't have a lot of clients at my hand right now, but I'm still managing lah. Like let's say one client pays you like 4 to 6K. You're set for a month, man. After the whole equipment, all the expenses, but you still set for the month after you pay the bills. So yeah, that's another thing lah. But landing jobs at the moment, you can say it's easy because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's because you have a connection, right? You network with people, right? Is that why you say it's easy for you to get a job?
It's a few things at once. I mean, this is, I think, a very broad topic because we're talking about, it's not just about finding jobs. We're also talking about, how good are you at your work, how much value you provide. So I think all those things, and how well you market yourself. So all these things kind of come into one big circle. It's very hard to just say it's one thing or another to explain like how to, you know, get more work or how to get known. You know, it's usually a few different things combined into one. Sorry, actually, what was the question again?
No, I mean, just saying like, because we can say about this like, oh, it's very easy to get a job. Why are you saying it's so hard to get a job? But not everybody is like us. Not everybody comes from the same background as us. Because one thing I can say why I'm still getting a job, because I had networks. I talk to a lot of people. I tell them what I'm doing. And yes, like marketing lah. But mostly, I mean, if you see me in my social, I don't market what I'm doing like professionally. I just do like stupid videos, post out some content lah. But for me, it's because I had network. Like I really talk to the people who knows I'm doing. So usually they contact me like, hey Vince, I know you're doing videos. Can you do videos for me? That I would say because of network, I can keep getting job, and even until COVID. But I'm just asking you, is it because you have that network? That's why you can say it's easy to get a job, because some people, right, they starting out, they don't have anything.
Okay, so I mean, so to kind of elaborate on what I was talking about, so yes, kind of going back to the value thing as well, so this is kind of linked to that as well. So when I said it was, I didn't exactly say it was easy in the broad sense. I don't think I even said that. But basically, I just say it was kind of, now it's not necessarily a bad time. You can still find work if you know where to look. There is work out there, but it's just about, like what you say, about connection, and it's about how much a person trusts you. So I mean, if your question is advice for people who are looking for work now, then my advice for that would be to kind of just go, I mean, how I did it. It may not be true to everyone, but it's just to kind of do everything and anything, you know. And of course, a lot of it is you have to use your gut instinct to know if the person that you're helping out now would value you and help you in the future. But it's kind of a lot of that. Like for myself, a lot of my work that I do now is actually because of years. Well, for me, it's like 2 or 3 years of just, you know, I started out doing something small for them, and then eventually built into something bigger. They grew and I grew as well, and then we kind of, you know, bounce off each other. So I think that's always a safe and good way to start. And especially if you don't already have pre-existing connections, then it's definitely a good time to reach out to people.
How do you think you should be reaching out? Just one thing.
I mean, there's so many ways to reach out, you know. You can always reach out starting with your friends. Friends who have businesses. You can ask them if they have friends who have businesses.
So that's the thing, you know. I don't know, like I have a full rule that never work with your friends. Like really never work with your friends. If let's say your friends is starting out a business, right? I don't know why, because from my experience, I always lose friends after I work with them. Because, you know, sometimes when you're friends, you overcharge, or small things like, hey, can you do these changes or not? Can you do changes? It's like endless changes. And then there will be a one point where you just like click. So I don't want to do this anymore. Can you be professional with me? And then that will disturb your friendship as well. So that's one rule lah. But it's when you say like ask your friend's friend, that is smart. Like let's say you have your friend, right? I ask you, hey Han, do you have any friends who has business that you want to do video for or not? That is easier lah, because you're not directly asking you, you're just asking your friends group. So that is kind of complicated for me though.
I think, I mean, the main idea is just to get your
try to talk a lot,
get your name out there, I suppose. Get people knowing that you do these things. Like, you know, just telling your friends, at least they know, like, okay, you know, I have a friend who is doing video and I have a friend who is doing photo as well, whatever it is. Then at least they have that in their mind. So maybe the next time they have a friend who
a project they want to do.
Then you can, you know, bring out, hey, I actually know this friend who does that.
It actually worked, guys. I actually got a job from similar to that. I told them like long time ago when I first started out that I'm doing video. After a year, they contacted me back. They told me, oh, a restaurant wants to shoot a video for their commercial, like for their food project. I was like, oh, okay, can. So like,
I mean, crazy enough. Like, I mean, I've gotten a lot of projects. Some that are good and some that are more passion than, you know, than
work.
Business, than work. And usually it's just from, you know, just reaching out to. Maybe like asking friends, hey, do you know a person who might have a new restaurant open, or they have like they want to do a food commercial. Then that friend, you know, if you know your friend well enough, he might be like, yeah, I think I know a friend who has a startup business, or he has a business that he's working on. Let me hook you up, and then he hooks you up, and then you can just say, hey, you know, I'm who and who, I'm friends with who. He told me to pass you my contact, and you know, I do this and this and this. Here's my portfolio, and yeah, if you need any help, just hit me up. And I'm telling you, man, I mean, if you want to just start work, you know, maybe it's not the most
glamorous lah, very big
glamorous
work
and you know, not Hollywood stuff. It could work. I don't know. I mean, if you have Hollywood connections, Steven Spielberg, whatever.
Please
like,
speak sometime.
Yeah, I mean, like that's amazing.
I will work for free if you want to.
Right? I mean, okay, that's next level. But I mean, just for this stuff, like, I mean, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to just get work just from that. You know, just being open to trying new things and being open to just telling people, hey, I'm here, and if you need my help,
I'm here for you. Ready to use.
Okay, I mean that was both romantic and a little bit wrong, but but I mean
up to the person who's listening to this
up to their interpretation. But yes, basically that's the gist of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we come to the end of the podcast, right? Any valuable lesson that you learned throughout the 2020 as a freelancer that you want to share to the people?
Wow, any valuable lessons? Wow, it's quite a lot.
A lot. Oh shit.
Oh,
okay,
man,
come on, let's do this.
There's a lot of stuff, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I think that, you know, I learned everyone has learned a lot from this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
personally,
one is having a stable job is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So, you know, dude, it's not always a good idea to just quit because you're passionate about something. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys.
Do you know this story, right? I shared this in my last podcast, right? I actually went for a job interview during the pandemic. It was a social media marketing thing.
Okay.
I actually went to the interview. And during the interview, I just halfway stopped. I just said, thank you, I don't think I'll be right for this job. I actually quit without even them telling me to quit. Because when I was waiting in the launch, right, I was in my head, I was just buffering the whole footage. Shit, I'm be working under somebody. Wow, 9 to 5 every day. I need to commute here and there. Oh my god, I need to like have bosses around me. It's like that was like so scary for me, you know, because I'm so used to being on myself, like being my own boss and working on my own time.
I don't think you worked in a full-time office.
I did before I started my company. That was I worked for 6 months just to get some experience and income. So I worked there, but by the time I was just like a small boy, I didn't have all this experience yet, like working by yourself, working with different people, going having the liberty to go everywhere lah. So I was like so terrified when I went into the interview thing, right? Halfway we were talking about what you do. Oh, actually I studied this, and then halfway I was like, I'm so sorry, but I'm looking at your, because I don't want to be rude, so I just say, looking at your job scope, I thought I'd be doing something else, but it's okay. I'm not interested in this job.
That's very nice of you. You know what you should have just done? You should have just like said, hey man, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know why I'm here.
Dude, that
I'm out. I mean, no hard feelings, man.
That would be so wrong though.
But hey, man, he could respect you, man. He could be like, hey, you know what? Thank you for telling me that.
No, but I didn't know rudely. I didn't know rudely. I just said, I think the job scope that you I saw it wrong. I don't think I'll be a good fit for you, so I think I need to decline this job. So so that was the whole experience lah. Like I can see your face like, wow, what, you come halfway, only talk about your experience, then halfway you gone already. It's like, what the hell? I was like, I'm so sorry. Then I went out, I saw like some of the people who's actually interviewing, right? It's like, good luck, bro. You need this more than me. I don't think I'm good for this. I just went out. When I'm driving back, I called my mom. I just told her, it's like, yeah, I didn't take the job. It's like, okay. Hey, no, sorry, it's not my mom, it's my friend. Sorry, I didn't tell my mom about this. I called my friend. I was like, I didn't take the job. I was like, what the fuck? You didn't take the job? You know how hard it is to get a job? I was like, no. I just went back. I don't think I can go back to that mentality, like working under somebody. Yeah, like I don't think I'm suited for that job lah. But yeah, that was the whole thing lah. So what else did you learn, like other than having a stable job is good?
That's just a joke, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, it's kind of true. It's really true.
But okay, let's see. Wait, was this one of the prepared questions?
Yeah, this is the last question lah. Yeah. What are the lessons that you learned?
I know, to be honest, I still think that this lesson applies during this pandemic or not, which is just, I think being open to trying new things. I think it's always just important to. Of course, if you know that the thing is not, if you kind of already intrinsically know it's something that you don't want to do, or it's not worth your time, then you don't do it. But if it's something that you don't know if it's worth it, but it could be, then and you have nothing to lose, then just go out there and try it. I mean, there's a little story that that I have. Actually, it's not really a story. It's more like I know a lot of people who are doing this line who are just starting out, and they are just generally not willing to, just start small. It's like just straight away they want to get like, the $5,000 jobs. And if you don't have the portfolio for it, or you don't have or at least you can't give the impression that you can take on projects like that, then I think that's where knowing your value comes in, where knowing that, okay, I still have a lot to work on, and I should start by just going out there, trying new things. Maybe it won't, I won't earn as much, my code will be kind of low, maybe, but maybe you can just do things for free even. Okay, and I know
it's a very
really
controversial
scary,
topic,
very controversial.
But continue because I have something to add up to this. But continue. Think.
Okay. Usually, I mean, my 2 cents is that if you're already going to go solo, it's better to do it for free, because in that way you don't have too much responsibility. And you can try new things, and usually you can negotiate with someone, and then you can do things the way you want to do it a little bit more. But that's also a lot of how you deal with people. So, but I guess it's the same as I always believe, and I always tell people who are starting out, it's just that be open to trying new things, and just don't limit yourself in what you think you can and should do. I think that's really important.
I want to add up what you say, right? Being comfortable of earning this much of money, then only you go on. Takkan you start straight away, is charged like what, 4 to 5 figures. So because there's the topic we talked about with Riz, if you know Riz, right? We talked about this in like a previous podcast, I think 2 or 3 podcasts ago, is how do you get a 6-figure income? Because he actually achieved a 6-figure income company. So I was so curious about how the hell you achieved it. So he was telling me one thing, that before you go through 4 figures, be comfortable earning, before you go to 5 figures, right? Be comfortable earning 4-figure jobs, like consistently coming in. Then when you move forward. So let's say you're starting out, right? Let me truth be told, you're starting out with nothing, portfolio, anything. As a client, like you're the client, I'm the videographer. Right? I come to you. Oh, my charges are 3,000, or maybe realistic, the lowest 1,000. But I have no work to show to you. Would you accept the price or not? 1,000?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Why do you think that?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have much to show for it, then definitely, I mean,
there's nothing validating why you should be charging 1,000.
Perhaps you could be the best, videographer, director ever, but if you can't carry that out in either the words you say, I mean, sometimes you can get through a lot by just talking. Either that, or you don't have the portfolio to back it up. Then definitely as a client, I don't think I would trust you with my money / project. For sure. And
another thing about free work, right? This is a mistake I did long time ago, when I used to do like a lot of free works. Just to first, I just want to experience what is going on, and I want to like have fun with people. But the more I realized, right, time is like very important. So when I'm doing free work, right, I will 100% guarantee I will give my 100% to it. Like I'm doing it like an actual paid job, but also not wasting my time. Like some free works, right, you take like some nonsense work that's not related to what you wanted to do. That's actually a stupid move actually. If you really want to do a free work, do something that is going to be related to your future terms If you want to say you want to do free work, that I can add up to.
So I mean, adding to that, I mean, to just elaborate a bit more on what I was talking about, that is more of like it's the same concept as trying something new with, like, let's say a client. If you haven't tried something, like let's say something really crazy or insane that is very risky, you wouldn't want to quote this much, promise so much, and then deliver like so little. It's always better to undersell, over deliver, right?
But have you tried that before? Like as a client work, you do something different. But it's a paid work.
Have
you tried that before?
I think so. I mean, well, different good or different bad?
I don't know. Okay, let's say it's a new technique or camera movement or whatever lah, or maybe a new editing style that you wanted to try out, but you use as a paid work rather than a free work. Have you tried that before? And did it pay it off?
A lot of times, yeah, I have tried a lot of stuff where well, maybe it's not like something
a new concept lah.
Not say new, but like I knew the idea behind it. I knew how it could be executed, but I just didn't know the intricacies of how to do it, or I didn't know exactly like what the steps are, but I knew roughly how I could go around doing it. And I think actually there's a lot of what we do right now as well. It's a problem solving basically, but sometimes the problem is like really, really huge. Excuse me. I mean, the banana leaf is...
Yeah, we had banana leaf, guys, so that's why
it's kind of getting to me a little bit. Yeah, super duper full, man.
Yeah. But you know, it's like...
But yeah, as I was saying, sometimes, you try something that's a little bit above your scope, and well, sometimes it frankly speaking, it can get very risky, and sometimes maybe it might not be to the client's expectations.
But had he paid it off or not? Like, did the client like it?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, there's times where it paid off, and frankly speaking, there's some times that it didn't. But of course, you always try to manage expectations. You don't go in saying that, hey, I can 100% get this done. If you don't know that you can 100% get it done.
Yeah. Because I have like bad experience on that.
So you always want to try to manage as much as you can. Just want to let them know. Okay, this is something new. I've done so and so and so, which makes me quite confident that I can pull it off. But if there's an off chance that it doesn't work, there are other alternatives that I can do. So you always give people backup options.
Okay, I got you.
Unless you're 100% confident that you can pull off something you have never tried before. I mean, then go ahead, man.
Dude, I tried that before, right? It backfired a lot. To be like legit, the client just blacklisted me. Okay, I'm not gonna work with you because
I can imagine.
I was so confident that it will work, right? When I actually edited, I was like, oh shit, this is not working. I have no backup plan. Shit. Alright, so is there anything you want to add up? Like any more lessons you learned, or just two of them?
Oh man, I mean, we can be here all day, man. I mean, to be honest, I don't know, how long has it been?
It's been like more than 30-ish minutes.
Oh, wow, okay, that makes sense. That felt really short.
Okay, so cut it short lah. Possibly the lessons he learned is that first, having a stable job is super important, and it's really frankly, I mean, that can, that's we can change the word.
It's contextual.
No, we can change the word. Having a stable income. Not a stable job, a stable income.
Those are not entirely exclusive to one another, but you can, I mean, either one of those. You can interpret it the way that you want to, but
Okay, what's the second one? Always?
The second one was, always try new things.
Always try new things.
I mean, with a caveat, of course, just knowing.
Be very sure the new thing.
I mean, don't get screwed over.
Don't simply
don't get screwed over. I think that's really important. Use your gut feeling to know what is worth it in the long run and what is not. But still be open. Especially if you're, young and you're starting out. I think it's really important to try new things. Maybe if you have a family and a lot of responsibilities. I mean, sure you can go ahead, but just
saying lah.
Just be wise about it, I suppose.
Alright, so if you guys want to find Han, you can find him on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description below. And also, if you're a freelancer, you want to start out running your own business, I do have some contract templates and invoicing templates, and as well as some of the script writing, like email, if you want to approach some clients. I do have those templates down there. If you want to check it out, you can just download. It will be in the first link. And thank you guys for watching this video, and if you guys want to check us out in our faces, we'll be in YouTube at the In Focus Network, and in Spotify and Apple Music. I'm not sure other platforms though. Spotify, Apple Music is the most people see lah. So you can check us out in Spotify and Apple Music. So always guys, go out there, discover, connect and inspire, and we'll see you guys in the next video.